For the last time ever, we're going to grade Ohio State starting quarterback Will Howard after he just became the third Ohio State quarterback to lead the Buckeyes to a national championship with a 34-21 win over Notre Dame the first year of the 12-team college football playoffs. His stats, 17 of 21 for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then they turned him into Tim Tebow in the second half, so he ended up with 16 carries for 57 yards. Andrew, what's your grade for QB1?
C for champion. It's an A+. Will Howard, I still, I talked about him, and a lot of people were kind of saying, I was too hard on him throughout the regular season, for grades that I had given him throughout the course of that 12-game stretch. He was unbelievable through this 4-game stretch, and tonight was just the exclamation point on it, because what did we talk about all playoff long and all week long leading into this game? How does Notre Dame win it? They win the turnover battle. Will Howard throws a couple picks. Ohio State turns the football over. That's how this happens. Will Howard avoided that. Will Howard did not make any key mistakes, and that, I think, is exactly what you needed Will Howard to do. And then he was just really good throwing the football on top of that. There was a throw on this side of the field. I think it was to Carnell. It was a really good throw. He had a throw over the middle to a sliding Mecca. That was a great catch. And then he ends the game with his last ever pass at Ohio State with the bomb to Jeremiah Smith to win them the national championship. Now, Jeremiah was open, but he hit him, and it felt so fitting that we had talked so much about, hey, can Will Howard throw the deep ball accurately? Hey, is Notre Dame going to play man? Are they going to switch it up to zone? It ended with that play, and Will Howard hitting it was just poetic. And Will Howard deserves all the credit in the world because he was unbelievable in this playoff run. I thought he was unbelievable tonight. He didn't make mistakes. He was exactly what Ohio State needed him to be. And the reason the confetti is at our feet is because Will Howard played very, very well tonight, A+.
You don't know what's really poetic? His first pass as a Buckeye was to Jeremiah Smith on a tunnel screen, and JJ dropped it. His last pass as a Buckeye was a deep ball to JJ, and JJ caught it and essentially sealed the win. That's just nuts. Stefan, what's your grade?
Yeah, it's an A+, and I'll even go just outside of this game. I give him an A+ for the playoffs. The entire run that they've made. We talked a lot about this team. What were they going to look like mentally after the Michigan game? Could they rebound for Tennessee? And we saw what happened. And so much of the praise went to Jack and JT, the way they responded, the way, Chip Kelly has stepped up in the way that he's called game. All this stuff that we talked about that needed to be better. Will Howard got better in this playoff. Will Howard did things in this playoff that he wasn't consistently doing in the regular season. He was great in the regular season, but we didn't see it as consistently because what were we always saying? Is there going to be a game in the playoff where he kind of has a few of those blunders? And there was the pick against Texas, but aside of that, there wasn't a bad moment from Will Howard. He was dominant throughout these playoffs, and he was a key driving force, I think, in this offensive success. Did Chip Kelly, call better games in the playoff than he did, specifically against Michigan? Yeah, of course. But we saw a guy in Will Howard who also turned the page, and it went from, hey, can he be a quarterback that does enough to put Ohio State in situations to win, to a quarterback where he was doing things that you could directly point to and say that is why Ohio State won. Yes, Jeremiah Smith got open. Will Howard's going to make that throw, and he did. There was throws throughout this playoff where he's throwing into tight windows, and think about the touchdown to Mecca in the Rose Bowl. Like, he was making plays that wasn't just enough to get Ohio State what they needed. It was more than enough. It was things that left no doubt. The stuff that Ryan always talks about, make the plays, leave no doubt. Will Howard could have done enough, and a lot of these games could have been close. Ohio State came out in all these games, had a strong start. Maybe not as strong of a start against Texas, but they had strong starts, and a lot of that was directly correlated to strong starts from Will Howard, ready to go from the first play of the game. He's an A+ throughout this postseason. He's not just a piece in Ohio State winning. He is a big reason why Ohio State won a national championship this year.
I have a question for both of you guys, and I sent this to our texter, 614-350-3315. Quick answers, because you're not allowed to give your explanations, because we're going to do it on our podcast, wherever you find podcasts. Ohio State has 3 national championship quarterbacks in the modern-day era. Craig Krenzel in 2002, Cardell Jones in 2014, and now Will Howard in 2024. All very different eras. One's in the BCS, one's the 14 college football playoff, and another one is in the 12-team college football playoff. Rank them. You cannot give your explanations because we're going to do it on the pod.
Howard, Krenzel, Jones.
Howard, Jones, Krenzel.
Okay. I think he's the greatest championship quarterback in Ohio State history. And it's a very specific thing to talk about because look at this run of quarterbacks. Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud. Kyle McCord was a 5-star quarterback. Did it work out? No, but that was a 5-star quarterback. Braxton Miller. J.T. Barrett owns every career record you can think of. And this is the guy who got it done with this team. It's an A+ for me, just like you guys as well. And it's because I felt like we saw him unleashed a bit, and every reason for why they went and got him in the national championship. Get the text 614-350-3315, 2-week free trial, $3.99 after that. Will Howard's a champion. Regardless of everything else you think about him, he's a champion. And to your point, Stefan, that's leaving no doubt. Andrew, Stefan, Stephen will continue to talk about this on podcasts. Ohio State just won a national championship. I don't know. See ya.